Right, guys, let me know if you can see/hear me now. Hear me now. Drop a comment below. Think this should be working. Drop a comment, guys. If you can, that'd be great. Let me know if it's working, all that good stuff. Yeah, working. Wazers. Is it better? It looks like it's better metric wise because like analytic wise on the numbers and stuff. I've done something slightly different. So yeah, right. I need to see if I can. I don't know. I actually can't comment on this. How do I comment? Right. So in terms of the chat, right, because I've put my chat on a different way. How you doing, troops? Right, let me get a few things squared away first, and then we'll get on. Chat. No, we don't want that one. Hey, Crash. So it's free. It's a free fight. Anyone can watch it. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's not actually working when I last went on it. Believe it or not. So work that one out for yourself. Thank you for your super chat, Crash. Right, what's it on? It's on Sergey. Is it Sergey TV or something? Sergey TV. I'm trying to find it now, actually, troops. Hey, Crash, welcome to the Members Club, brother. Yeah, buddy. Let's go. First one of the stream, dudio. Right, I'm trying to find where this is. It is literally free, by the way. Anyone can watch it. So, I'm not trying to like get people to just watch it, pretend that I'm going to be watching it because I won't. Because obviously that is illegal. So I will be watching it. Yeah, Segi TV. SEGI.TV. That's where it's on. Okay? So I'm telling you guys where to go and watch it. But whilst I'm doing that, if you could stay and watch the commentary, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, it's not working for me either, mate. I think Segi TV is down. Which is a is Segi TV, is it legit? I mean, even the Sun and stuff and like main newspapers are saying that it's free up via that. So I think it's okay that it's on there. I don't need these on at the moment. I'm shouting actually because I've got my earphones on. My wife will go off it. Jericho is a wrestler trained with Thor's previous opponent, Devon. Devon can't even be classed as an opponent because, I'm not being funny, Devon is an arm wrestler. You know what I mean? So, yeah. The thing is, man, these two men. Right, in fact, I'm going to do this. Let's do this. How many people we got watching, guys? I can't actually see the stats. That's the only problem with It's the only problem with me using the profile on which I'm using at the moment. Right, how do I get... How many people are watching this? How do I do it? I don't know how many people are watching. How many people are watching, guys? 75. That's not too bad for the boxing content. We don't really normally put boxing content on. Troops, if you're brand new here, smash the like button. Yeah, we're gonna have intermittent people coming through because predominantly I'm a military channel. Seggy's not working. It's certainly not working for me anyway. Oh man, that's so bad. Seggy TV down. Hang on, we'll see if it's down, guys. Seggy TV. Seggy TV down. Let me have a look at this. Seggy TV not working 8 hours ago. Buy chicken dinner. Eddie V thought may not be happening. What? Let's see what's going on Twitter. Seggy TV's not working, troops. By looks of it. Right, let me see if I can get this display capture squared away. Twitter links work. Really? The Twitter link works. Now the Twitter link isn't working. That's not working, like. This is pathetic. If this is the case, it's going to be one hell of a flop. Right, 2 seconds, troops. Right, I need to see what these are. I want to see the comments on these because it's not working. Site is down. Yeah, it's not looking good. So, I mean, this is supposed to be free. And it's not actually working. I don't know, man. Yeah, troops. So it looks like we're not going to be able to watch. Well, at this moment, I don't know how we're gonna. I don't know how they expect us to watch the fight. Don't know about a 157. Cheers, buddy. Troops, if you haven't smashed the like button, hit the like button. We are going to be doing this in a very different capacity in the studio. The studio's looking at getting done fully by the end of April, hopefully. Maybe it's earlier if we're lucky, but it's looking at April. That's primarily going to be podcast related stuff, boxing content, all of that kind of good stuff. If you want to, in fact, I'll get you the link. I'll get you the link now, actually, troops. It's called Just Boxing, the channel that's going to be on. So, let me get the channel for you. I have some big plans for that. Filters, channel, boom, 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 boom. Here we go. Just boxing, here we go. So, I'll pop in a comment in the chat, troops. So there you go. I'll pop that in a few times. Go follow that channel. That's gonna be the best boxing podcast / boxing tuition / boxing stuff. I'm gonna grow that channel to be the best on YouTube. That will be the place that people tune in. Trust me. So it takes 2 seconds to go and subscribe to that one, troops. It takes 2 seconds. Ben, no, I'm not showing the fight, mate, because you can't show the fight, and it would be pointless me doing that, risking ruining my entire channel, buddy. So no, I won't be showing the fight. I'll be commentating on the fight. But yeah. $267 watching. Awesome. Seggy, I don't know what's going on. It's bad for business, really, if they haven't... No, Seggy TV isn't working for me, UK money. I don't know why, man. But there's a lot of people, like, wanting to watch this fight. Yes, it's not. It's supposed to have started now, guys. Seggy TV. It's not. What's my prediction? Well, if Seggy TV kind of sorted out, there'll be no fight. People have been waiting for this for years. It's not been like months. The 6-month waiting time for like big fights is long enough. This has been well over 2 years, I believe now. So it'd be pretty bad if this doesn't materialize. It'll be pretty bad for Eddie Hall and Thor if it doesn't get shown. There's a Harry Potter style poll for you. It's fine for me. Logan, well, you legend. This is doing my head in, man. Alright, come on. Alright, where's Seggy TV? Seggy.tv. What's crazy is that Segi.tv isn't even coming up as the first. Segi TV, here we go. Thor v Eddie. I can't believe this fight isn't loading up. It is what it is. Right, here we got 68 votes for Eduardo Leviosa or Thorganium Bjornsson. we got Eddie. Oh, we got loads for Eddie. I'm surprised, because Thor looks brilliant. Yeah, it doesn't work, mate. Segi TV, Phil. Absolutely hideosa. So, you'd like to think they'd have the infrastructure and the money and the ability to have a bit of a backup. They really messed up. Like, this is humongous in terms of failure. Like, this is a big, big F on their behalf. They should definitely have a backup plan for this, and they clearly haven't got one. There's people will be getting properly fired for this. People will be getting really, really fired. There's going to be jobs lost, as a result of this. There has to be. There has to be people getting the jobs. Troops, by the way, if you're brand new to the channel, if we can even get a fight on, please consider smashing the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And if you want to become a member, hit the join button. The member. If you don't see the join button, it's in the chat. It's pinned to the channel. The join button literally helps me out. So yeah, I'd appreciate that, troops. Segi doesn't work. Oh, right. I'm getting it on. I'm getting it on for some reason. Oh, it's on. I don't know what round it is. This looks amazing. Thor is standing his ground. He looks good. Oh, Thor's caught him with two big punches. Oh, Thor's looking good. Right, they're both in the center of the ring right now. Eddie, I don't know what round it is. It's round 1, actually. Eddie's got a cut over his left eye. Eddie's got a cut over his left eye. Thor's been really, really calm. Thor's catching him with straight punches. Thor's doing pretty good at this moment in time. Both in the center of the ring, not much action happening at all. Yeah, both guys. Oh, Eddie's just threw a massive haymaker and he's missed. He can't seem to get inside because Thor's too tall. Nice 1-2. I'll tell you something, Thor is very impressive, guys. I hate to break it here. Thor's thrown lovely 1-2s, very, very boxerish. He's very calm. The experience shows, man. Oh, Thor's just thrown a combination straight shots. He's caught him with a massive right hook. Eddie Hall looks really tired. He looks really tired. And that's the first round. Eddie Hall looks really tired. Eddie Hall's fighting out of the southpaw stance. I mean, I didn't get the full round, but Eddie's got a massive cut over his right eye. Um, and Thor's boxing really, really well. He looks pretty impressive. I've only seen half of the round because of the where I'm watching it from, but I have to be honest with you. He looks very, very boxerish. He looks really, really impressive in that respect. Yeah, I never thought I'd say that about Thor. I knew he was looking pretty good, but the fact that he's translated over from strongman to looking like an actual boxer is really, really impressive. Boxing's one of the hardest sports, if not the hardest sport on the planet. It's an art form, so to be able to be able to be good in that respect is really, really tough, guys. It is really, really tough. And Eddie Hall still looks like a strong man in there. Now, I love Eddie Hall. I'm a massive fan of his, but credit where due. Thor is looking like the better man now. Eddie Hall just caught him with a massive punch, and Thor's just fell back. Oh, I don't know if he's getting a point off or what. Right, Eddie caught him with a big right hand. I think Eddie's just going for the knockout at the end of the day. Thor's keeping him off with the long shots. He's using his height to his advantage. He's standing tall and he's keeping Eddie Hall away. He's throwing the big long shots. Eddie Hall's hands are down. Thor's got his guard up. He looks really, really well, Thor. He's keeping him off with the jab and he's working as well. He's working on that right eye that's been cut. Guys, Eddie Hall's going in with big shots, but the thing is, that's going to use a lot of energy. That's going to use a lot of energy, guys. Center of the ring, Eddie Hall's right hand is down. Thor's hands are up. He's parrying the jab out. And he's been quite successful with the jab. A nice right hand from Eddie, but it doesn't really hit. And a swing from Eddie Hall. Another jab, but it misses. He's not very accurate, Eddie. Both guys in the center of the ring. And I have to be honest with you, the fact that Thor's had some fights, it shows. It shows, guys. The fact that Eddie Hall hasn't had any public fights, it shows. Eddie looks really, really, really amateurish here, unfortunately. Really good job there from Eddie. He's crouching down. Don't know what he's doing. His tactics is not really working up to now. He could catch him with a big punch and knock him out, but at the end of the day, the boxer's winning this fight so far. Thor has been very, very composed, keeping his hands up, flicking that jab out. He's flicking that jab out. Big swinging overhand right from Eddie Hall, but it misses again. He's struggling to close the distance, Eddie. Nice left hand by Thor, and he's pushing. Oh, and Thor's down. Thor's down. He's up over. He's very, very quickly on his feet. Eddie Hall caught him with a big looping punch. The thing is with Eddie, he's dangerous still, guys. He's very dangerous, but he's gassing out. So that was a knockdown. So technically, could be a 10-8 round for Thor, but Thor's winning the fight as far as I'm concerned in terms of boxing ability. Eddie Hall looks like the hunchback at the moment. This is crazy, guys. Sorry that you can't hear any commentary on there. I'm watching the fight. What do you think, troops? What do you think so far? Segi TV is a massive F, by the way. Segi TV, massive F. That's literally horrendous on their behalf. Yeah, I don't know what else to say on that one, troops. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my stream up so I can check a few things. 160, 175 watching. Troops, smash the like button. Hit that like button, guys. We don't normally do this, but we're doing it now. So the channel, I'm watching. I was watching it on Player Haters podcast, but they're literally going to get shut down for doing that. Honestly, guys. So I'm watching it via their channel, but I'm not going to show anything. They're going to get shut down for that. They've got like 80,000 people watching them because Segi hasn't got anyone, but no one subscribing to them. So I don't know why they're wasting the time doing that, man. This is not great. This is not the best way to watch it, guys. Oh, sorry, round 3. I paused it by accident. All right, so again, center of the ring is commanded by Thor. Boxing very well, Thor. Eddie throws 1 or 2 haymakers. Another big haymaker by Eddie. Thor's composed. Thor's very composed. Eddie Hall's crouching down. He's crouching down to the right. If Thor throws that left hook, it's going to go straight on Eddie's chin, man. Just punching that jab out. A nice left hand cross by Thor. Eddie's cut, though, which shows how accurate Thor's been with these punches. His punch selection is working really, really well. Oh, nice 1-2 by Thor. Caught him really, really well. Thor's telling him to come on. Thor's telling him, come on, I want more. I want more. Very, very accurate. Very, very strong. He's upright. I'm very impressed with Thor, guys. Eddie is so tired. Nice jab by Eddie. He needs to double it up. Nice jab by Eddie again, but nice 1-2 back from Thor. Thor's boxing really well. His ring leadership, the way he's commanding the center of the ring is very impressive, guys. A lot of professional boxers don't command the ring as good as like what Thor's doing here, so I'm very impressed. He's an absolute athlete. Both of these men are athletes. But the fact that Thor's translated this across to boxing so well, I'm very, very impressed. Center of the ring. Nice poor jabs. Now Thor's doing something really, really good here, and you need experience to be able to do this. It's a tough one to do when your adrenaline's pumping. You want to throw nothing but leather, big punches. Now Thor's thrown. He's torn his power down. So he's knocked Eddie Hall down. That was a tremendous left hand by Thor. He's knocked Eddie Hall on the floor. That was a great punch. Wow. Seriously, guys, Thor just caught him with a beautiful left-hand cross. He is so impressive. I'm very impressed with Thor. Knocked Eddie Hall straight on the floor. That was a fantastic shot. Whoa, that was very, very... It's not looking good for Eddie Hall, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. End of round 3, I think. Oh, what a beautiful left-hand cross straight on the chin of Eddie. Eddie did not see that coming. I think it could be over this round, guys. He's cut under his right eye still. Eddie Hall does not... Tell you something, very, very impressed with Thor. Troops, smash that like button. Smash that like button, troops. Right, so ding ding, beginning of the round 4 of 6. I don't see it going past this round now. I think Thor's going to step it up. He's through about 5 jabs there. Eddie Hall looks gassed. Thor's putting on the pressure now. Nice overhand right from Eddie Hall. Caught him, but I think the power's out of him now. He's tired. He's been knocked down. He's cut. Boxing's a different game to fighting, guys. People think fighting on the street's one thing. Boxing is an art form, and it's tough. Nice 1-2 by Thor. Pushed Eddie Hall back. Eddie Hall is wobbly on his feet. He's wobbly on his feet. It could be over this round, I think, guys. Nice big 1-2 by Thor. I think it's going to be game over this round, troops. Quiet now, a bit quieter. Eddie swings with a right hook, but he looks fatigued. He looks tired. He looks like the fight's been kicked out of him, to be fair. That aggression is gone. Thor is looking fantastic. Big overhand right crosses from Eddie Hall. Not really effective, though. Not effective at all. Thor's been very patient. Very, very patient. He's thrown effective shots, but he's conserving his energy, which is very smart, guys. The easy thing to do would be to just go for it, all right? But he's shown his experience right now. He's shown his experience, and he's just caught him with another left hook, left cross, sorry. He's jabbing away. The jab's winning this fight. A very, very effective jab, and the technique that Eddie Hall thinks you don't need is actually shown through Thor tonight, and it's the very thing that's winning him this fight at this moment in time. It's really, really interesting. Eddie Hall looks big, looks slow. Oh, he's just caught him with a big right hook there, Eddie Hall, but it hasn't affected Thor. Thor's punch resilience is shown. It's really shown, guys. Punch resilience, his ring craftsmanship is fantastic. And I'm very impressed, really impressed with him. His boxing style is looking great. Whoever he's been listening to, training-wise, it's worked. And Thor's bullying him back. He's still in the center of the ring. End of the fourth round there, guys. Yeah. Eddie Hall is looking tired. Thor he looks like he's been very, very efficient with his energy. Very, very efficient. And I don't think Eddie Hall will ever want to fight again after this. If it's took him 2 years of hard training to still look like a strongman and to still reject the fact that that boxing is a game that's been around for a long, long time. We have to respect the fact that the athletes who train there, who train technique day in, day out, training technique because it bloody works. It works really, really well. Street fighting's different. There's no rules in a street fight, all right? So if you're confined by rules and regulations, then guess what? You need good technique to win the fight. You're not just going to bully your way through. If bullying your way through it actually worked, then a lot more people would be boxing than there'll be a lot more hard people off the street boxing, and there's a reason why they're not, because technique beats a hard man any day, as far as I'm concerned. Start the fifth round now, guys. Eddie Hall is crouching down. It doesn't look really effective why he's doing that. He's trying to throw the big overhand rights, but it looks stupid. It looks stupid. He's never going to catch Thor with them big overhand rights. Oh, and Thor's pushing it again. He's bullying him about the ring. Them shots when he's throwing the straight double jab and a right hand there, every punch caught him. Eddie Hall has no answer. He doesn't know how to get out of them shots, get out of the way of them at all. Eddie Hall's holding his left hand up a little bit more now. He's learned his lesson because he's getting caught off a hard hitter. He's not being efficient with his energy, Eddie, at all. It only takes one shot, though, guys, at this weight. One shot. But for me, at this moment in time, Hafthor Bjornsson is winning the fight convincingly. Oh, big 1-2 and caught Eddie Hall again on the eye. That eye is looking worse, to be fair. I'm a fan of Eddie. I'm a big fan, and I want him to win. But he's getting boxed. He's getting his head boxed off here. Absolute getting his head boxed off. Center of the ring again. Hands down. He caught Thor with a big looping right hook. He needs to push him. Once he's caught with them shots, he needs to go all out. He can't wait until the last round. Eddie's pride wants to get him through the whole fight, though. That's what he's thinking now. I need to go the 6 rounds. But Thor looks to be the fitter person. Nothing happening at the moment in the ring. Thor's thrown a couple of jabs out, keeping Eddie at bay, and the jab is very successful. The jab has been the winner of this fight. It's been the most successful punch here, via Thor as well. Eddie's not throwing anything other than looping shots, trying to throw power bombs, and Thor's just moving out the way. Simple as that. He's keeping out the way. Thor's looking still fresh. His boxing style's looking really good. When Eddie's jumping in, he's getting caught with the jab off Thor. He has no answer to it now. He doesn't know how to get out of the way of that punch. Eddie's getting his face boxed in big time. End of round 5, guys. A very convincing win for the 5th round for Thor as well, going into the last round. Last round coming up. It's not looking good, man. It's not looking good for Eddie. I'm very impressed with both of them in terms of a YouTube fight. And I say YouTuber because they're both technically YouTubers now as well. But there's one thing for sure: these guys are both athletes. Thor's very, very, very impressive. If Eddie was fighting anyone else, I would say in the strongman world, I think he'd do all right. But in terms of how they both look, Eddie Hall doesn't even look at an amateur standard. He hasn't took any tactical advice on about how the art of boxing works. He doesn't seem to have gotten any of the fundamentals. His footwork's horrendous. His guard isn't out there. He hasn't got any kind of substance to his combinations. He doesn't throw a proper jab. He doesn't throw a proper right hand. Technique has just gone out the window. It's as if he's worked against technique on purpose, which is silly. And this is the reason he's lost the fight, or he's losing the fight up to now. Thor hasn't used his muscle, hasn't used his brawn. He hasn't relied on that. He's literally just went and learned and respected the art of boxing. This isn't strongman, and he's went and respected the art form, and he's learned the fundamentals, the basics, and he's actually beaten Eddie Hall right now on an international stage with the basics. A good jab, good footwork, and he's knocked him down with a big left hand straight. He's knocked Eddie's up after 2 seconds, but he knocked him down again. That's the second time Eddie's been down off the same shot. Wow. Hey, Player One, thank you for the kind donation, brother. I really do appreciate that. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you, bro. Wow, so Eddie Hall's down in the last round. Eddie Hall's shown, grit and determination, but he's crouching down out the way of Thor, and it looks stupid. I don't know why he's hiding like that. He's crouching down purposefully, but it's not working. Eddie needs to throw some bombs, man. Otherwise, it's going to be it's game over. Coming to the end of round 6 now. Thor's keeping composed. He's not rushing in. Not rushing in at all. Even though he's knocked big looping right hand by Eddie, but it hasn't affected Thor one bit. He's not going to knock Thor out with these looping shots because you can see him coming a mile away. Eddie's, I feel sorry for Eddie. He's been surrounded by yes men by the looks of it. He needs to drop another 20-30 kilograms at least. If he wants to fight Thor again, he'd have to fight him lighter. He's coming too bulky, coming too strongmanish. His ego's taken over him. He needed to do things differently, and he hasn't. Technique is terrible. Terrible technique. Thor's doing very well, dancing around the ring for a big bloke. Another combination there, finishing off with a left hand. He's parrying his jab, Eddie Hall's jab away. So Eddie Hall hasn't got a jab at this moment in time. He's trying to throw a looping right hand, but it's just not going to work out for him. Big right hand by Eddie in the final seconds, but it didn't work. Hasn't worked out for him. And they're both in the middle of the ring. They touched gloves. And it still looks like they've got a bit of... It looks like they've got a problem still. Hey, as far as I'm concerned, Eddie Hall got his arse kicked. Wow, so that's the end, guys. I want to know who's won this fight. We'll close in a few minutes now to get the final results in. Can someone drop me a comment how many people's actually watching this this video? Well, troops, I don't know what to make of that. The only thing that, if I was to fight someone like Eddie Hall, the only thing I'd be worried about is the sheer size of him. But I think a small dude would beat this guy. And I say a small dude, a smaller dude. If you're a good 15 stoner who can box, good technique, and you can really bang, I think you'd still annihilate Eddie Hall. I don't think Eddie Hall has that fighting ability. I don't think his aggressive spirit from strongman translates across to boxing. He's refused to... to take on any advice on technique of boxing, the art form. And at the end of the day, when you're given it that, you really, really need to be going into a sport. I mean, think about this. You can't be that arrogant to think, like, you're world's strongest man. I love Eddie Hall, by the way. World's strongest man. You've gotten there because of technique. Technique of how to deadlift properly, how to do the Atlas stones and everything else. Now, imagine if you got someone from boxing coming in going, deadlift, we don't need technique. I'll just do it, not bending my back properly and not bend my knee. Eddie Hall would be disgusted that you're not respecting his sport, his art. You know, and you do need to have respect for individual sports, and you actually absolutely need to respect that there is technique involved in every sport. And by refusing to adapt to that and have that technique, it's embarrassing, and it shows ego, and it's, in my opinion, it's not on. All right, I'm just trying to get the results. I think. Right, I can't get the results. It's froze. Oh, don't do this to me. I'm just trying to get the see who actually won the fight. I think this video might have oh no, there's adverts on at the moment. But yeah, it's Thor looked really good. Eddie, technique let him down in that. I mean, he couldn't even throw an effective jab. You have to be upright. You have to have your hands up. You've got to have your footwork in place. You've got to be able to move in and out. Why? So you can get your shots off and then avoid the other person's. He didn't do any of that, from what I've seen. He was relying on trying to bully him. Boxing requires more than that. There's a reason there's not a lot of bullies in boxing, because bullies don't last long in boxing. Bullies get sorted right out, and technique beats that. Now, people think Mike Tyson, fighter, fighting machine, that type of person. Actually, Mike Tyson was a fantastic, one of the best boxers, technically, the world's ever seen. His technique, just the way he formed his technique, made him look like an aggressive fighter, because he was, but there was technique involved in that. He wasn't just going in throwing bombs, all right? Every bomb was formed part of an effective combination. He set it up with a good, strong jab. He had solid head movement. His footwork got him in and out. The man was a tremendous boxer who looked like a tremendous fighter, but he was a boxer, a great boxer, and that's his style, all right? Getting the results here, guys. Here's the decision. 57-54, unanimous decision. Thor, absolutely annihilated. Unanimous decision, Thor. Eddie looks pissed. He's short. They've both shook hands. They've both shook hands. They're both in the center of the ring. Both in the centre of the ring. They're both mates at the centre of the ring, but they're getting millions of pounds, aren't they? I'm glad Eddie didn't bet millions on this fight. Eddie looks really demoralised. Thor, I've been impressed with Thor this fight. And the build-up. I've been impressed with build-up. It didn't work out for Eddie. Technique let him down. Martin Ford standing up. You know, 40, Martin Ford, that other big dude. I think he wants to fight Thor next. I can actually see Thor having a boxing career. Honest to God. I'm not just saying it. I can actually see him having a boxing career, moving up very slowly with, you know, obviously a bit better of opponent next time, but I can see him having somewhat of a professional boxing career. But trust me, I couldn't see Eddie Hall even having an amateur career. In fact, I think he'd struggle more with amateurs because of the pace. The pace of amateur boxing is so fast. Right, that's it then, guys. I've had enough of watching that on someone else's YouTube channel. Lack of technique lost that fight. Technique wins, guys. The more technical you are, the you can disguise having technical ability with your style. So Mike Tyson's style was, he was a fighter. He was a fighter, okay? That was his style. It was aggressive. But he had technique. He was a good boxer. Do you understand? He could box. People normally think, oh, boxing, you have to look like Muhammad Ali. No, Muhammad Ali's style was that. That was his style. But he was a fantastic boxer as well. Ali's style was just flamboyant and moved around. But you can be a tremendous boxer, but your style is of a fighter. Mike Tyson is a prime example. Eddie Hall's went in there thinking he can have a style like a fighter with no technique. If this is the thing, if your style is, if you're a fighter stylistically, you need to have more technique, if anything, because, you know, normally you're going in for big combination haymaker shots. You need to take a few to get in, and if your technique's not on point, you've got a lot more to think about. All right, if you box like Thor did tonight, stylistically, there's not much to it. You need to throw a good strong jab. You need to follow it up with a good right hand every now and again. You need to have footwork to get in and out of danger, and you keep your hands high. That's it. That's what he won that fight on. Sounds stylistically quite boring, but it works, all right? And technique-wise, it was there. Technique-wise, it was there, guys. In his style, pretty boring. He wasn't going in to look flash. He went in to win the fight, and he won it off his technique. And a very, very simple one. Very, very simple one, you know? And yeah, I mean, Okientiv, you're saying Tyson also knew fundamentals of boxing, front to back, sideways, exactly, which is, if you do the basics well, like in the military, I can refer to this. I've done both, guys. I've boxed and I've been in the military, and technique wins every time. Now, my style in boxing, and look, guys, I've won some, I've lost some. That's the nature of average individual sportsmen, okay? You win some, you lose some, but the better guy was always the one who was more technically efficient. So, with me, when I was boxing, where I lacked in technique, my style sometimes helped me out. But if I was boxing someone who was really, really technical, then you know, you're getting beat for you lacking a few basics. But the basics work, all right? Good solid jab is the most important thing. It sets up every shot, every other shot. Eddie Hall didn't have a jab tonight. He wouldn't listen to it. All right, a good jab will set up every shot. Even if you're a fighter and want to have that fighting style, good solid jab. Then the combinations can come. But if you're going to fight, you have to have good footwork. Why? Because you're going to be throwing 3 and 4 shots. You open yourself up to counter attacks. So you need to have great footwork to get you in, shots off, bang, 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 and then move back out of danger. Yeah? You need good head movement. Why? Because if you're an aggressive type fighter, like what Eddie seems to be, you need to be able to get yourself out of danger quick, you know? It's just the way it is. Technique works. Eddie for being such an athlete in strongman, understanding that technique is everything in everything he ever did, has been really naive in the fact that he thinks he didn't have to be technically good in this fight. That's terrible. Okientiv, Thor, you're saying Thor is too old to have a pro boxing career other than high-paid exhibitions, maybe some lesser-known journeyman. I don't know. I think it just depends. I know guys who have boxed when they were young and did poor. I know guys who've boxed when they were older and did great. There's one thing that Thor has above anyone else who's currently boxing, or a lot of people in the pros, is he hasn't took any punishment up until this point. So his brain's still intact. He's got all his faculties in place. Whereas someone who might have been boxing 10 years or so, that takes a lot out of you guys. Don't listen to any of the bullshit out there thinking that these young men are getting out of boxing unscathed. Boxing damages you, all right? And it doesn't matter what level you fight at. Boxing damages your brain and it knocks years off your life. A fact. That's a fact. I'll not have anyone tell me otherwise. Mike Tyson's in his 50s now. You can hear his speech is slurred, properly slurred. Look at all of the greats. None of them can talk properly, all right, because of the brain damage. So Thor hasn't got that in his 30s. He hasn't took any damage in his 20s. So it's a good thing for him. So he's been he's been the top 0.1% of athletes in his given field in the world. So he's been exceptional in his given field of strongman. He's translated a lot over. It's worked. I agree. The exhibition stuff is where I would advise it anyway. Why? There's more money in it for him, and he's going to fight lesser caliber of opponents. So good on him at the end of the day. There's pro boxers out there who are fantastic, who are getting their heads caved in for £500. And they've been trained 6 months for it, living in, council houses and, working shitty jobs just to pay for the bills still. And the professionals, that's a crying shame. So that's why I'm a big fan of YouTube boxing. I think it's great that the content creators are going in, not really taking the damage and blows and getting paid loads of money for it. That's what I'm all for, and I think it should be more of that promoted. Simple as that. But yeah, I think Thor could be a genuine boxer. Was his face? Yeah, I think he could be. I think he could be. I actually like him. I've watched a lot of fighters. Is he going to be a world champion? Is he going to be like a national level champion? Nah, I don't think so. But I think in terms of exhibitions, he's going to do pretty good. Ryan Whitelaw says the Thor only has a career in exhibitions. To think he has a chance of reaching anything other than low level is insane. Fair play to him if he wants to actually take it on a career. Well, I mean, if you think about what exhibitions are, so exhibitions is just literally a classification. It's terminology. That was technically an exhibition tonight, but I tell you something, Eddie Hall's going to feel like he's been in, and he's going to feel horrendous. All right, he took some punishment there, so you can say it's an exhibition, but at the end of the day, it was a fight. An exhibition is when you have the skill set to make it look like an exhibition, i.e., Floyd Mayweather. He can get in with a great individual, not take a single punch for 3, 4, 5, 10 rounds and walk away with 100 million. That is an exhibition, buddy. This here tonight, where there was 2 dangerous individuals there, you might class it as an exhibition, but that was a fight. I don't care what anyone says. That was a fight. There was danger involved there. Not for Thor, because his technique won. But for Eddie Hall, you try telling him that was an exhibition, and you want a few more of those. It's just an exhibition. He's not going to want to do that. You know what I mean? But they're getting it done. Eddie Hall is going to get some serious flack for this, and deservedly so. At least he got paid. Okientiv, yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. I think he needs a bit of stick for this, because his ego is going to take a massive hit, and you need to take a massive hit. But they've both getting paid, set the families up, so that's great. I'm happy for them. Carl Granner, thank you for your kind donation, brother. You're saying embarrassing that Eddie didn't stay. Did he not stay? Did he? Right, Carl. Did he not do a chat afterwards? Did he not stay for did he not stay to speak to the commentators or anything? That's a shame. Eddie, I mean, Ed took... Look, guys, I've had over 30 fights. I've never been punched up like what Eddie's been punched up there. He took a beating. He took a beating, man. The beef isn't over. You know why? Once the cuts and the wounds healed and the bruises go, they'll be thinking, you know what? We made millions for this. This is another thing, guys. How much money do you think Eddie's made off videos on YouTube, just off the build up to this? For 2 years, videos of beating Thor. How many? He's made millions off those videos. So if they have a rematch in a year or something, that's another year's worth of videos. Guys, no one's not going to do that. £1 million. Even if you don't want it, you got to think of your kids and be like, you know what, I'm going to get my kids sorted out. That's a lot of money, guys. And they've made more money on YouTube from this. Trust me, guys. Their build up, they've made more money on YouTube. Eddie had a 1 million view video yesterday and a 500,000 view video the day before and the day before. Do you know how much money that is? Do you know how much money those videos will be getting? How much money? Troops, a lot of money. And fair play to them at the end of the day. Dr. Ut, who won, Thor won, and it was a unanimous decision. And he deservedly, the Viking, the Thor, he won it, man. I'm for Eddie, for the Brit, but the best man won. The best man won, and yeah, he was definitely the best man. But troops, that's it. Yeah, doesn't have to set it up. But it's good. There'll be a rematch, 100%. But I think Thor will think, I'll take that rematch because he didn't pose a threat to him. So the only one who's going to be scared in the next fight is Eddie. Eddie will be cautious for that. But I think Thor will take that fight, definitely. Danielle, Thor looked good against Eddie, but to talk about him becoming a serious boxer is ridiculous. He's not versatile enough. He has basically 1-2 combination. Also, he did capitalize on following up. Didn't capitalize on following up because he had good conservation of energy. You're talking about a guy who's over 20 stone. Like, he did fantastic. He's not a lightweight. He did fantastic. And Daniel, it's not ridiculous to say becoming a serious boxer, because are you saying he's not a serious boxer now? He's a serious boxer now. He's been training now for a serious fight. He's just had a 6-round fight. If you've boxed before, you'll understand that. I've had over 30 fights. I understand the game. That's hard work, what he's just done there. He's serious, all right. I mean, for my fights as an amateur, these are guys who are doing it without head guards as well. We only did, when I first started boxing, it was a very long time ago, we did 3 1.5 minute rounds, all right, with head guards and gloves and bandages. I was 11 years old. Now, if you were to tell me that I wasn't a serious boxer because it was an amateur fight and it had head guards, then I would have looked at you in the eyes and went, well, let's have a go then, because it felt bloody serious. So Thor has went in there without a head guard on against the world's strongest man who looked fantastic against Eddie. He is a serious boxer, and that isn't ridiculous. We're not saying he's going to be a world champion and compete with committed professional fighters, but in terms of the field in which he's in, the YouTube boxing scene, fighting exhibition style fights with other serious competitors, absolutely, he's a serious competitor. So that's just the way it is. Like, I'll not have anyone say that, you know. And I hate YouTube fight Jake Paul and all them. I can't stand the likes of them. But credit where due when people work hard. Thor will look at the transformation. You can't say he's not serious. He's absolutely bloody serious. That's ridiculous. All right? It's ridiculous. Now, Eddie Hall, was his training, his effort serious? It was serious. But was he serious about boxing? Clearly not. He refused to learn technique. So you can say that about Eddie, and I'll take that on the chin. Yeah, he's not. He's clearly not serious. Why? He didn't look like he was serious. He didn't know how to throw a proper jab. Eddie, but Thor looked bloody good. I've seen worse professional fighters who you would class as serious, because they're a professional fighter. I've seen worse professional fighters. I think he looked pretty good. What's his face? Until you step in the square circle, you don't know. That's my point, my friend. I mean, you bang on the money. You bang on the money. Danielle, I didn't say he didn't look good. My point is what you later said, that he wouldn't be anything like world class. No one's look to see. You've got. I mean, well, hey, who's going to beat him? He's 6'9" and 20 odd stone. Eddie Hall is 150 kilograms, 6'3", and so who's gonna step in the ring? You tell me. In the heavyweight division now, who will step in the ring with him? You got to be bloody big to want to fight Thor. I mean, your obvious people like Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Dillian White, all of them guys are annihilating Thor, annihilating them. But you tell me a British level fighter, you tell me a local fighter from Sweden, you tell me a local fighter from Denmark or Norway who's 5'10" and a heavyweight of 14, 15, 16 stone, are they going to want to get in the ring and fight a 6'9" giant? Because Thor made Eddie Hall look small tonight, and Eddie Hall is massive. So just off the sheer size of this man, who's going to do anything with him? So he might not be world class, but I tell you something, he could do pretty well at a local level. How many local fighters who've won the British title, for instance, were classed as really good fighters? Loads of good fighters. Yeah? So don't rule out everyone who's not world class as not being a good fighter. You know? Gim 1993, respect for both men who stepped in the ring and fought it out. Hey, you took the words right out of my mouth, man. Norwegian fan. Eddie's jab to me looked kind of like his own style of striking. Of course, it won't last long, but he had a few crazy shots. Crazy shots, yeah, but just doesn't make sense. He didn't fight very well at all, did he? You know? Yeah, I think Thor looked really, really good. Really good. Christian says, I think Eddie has the stamina, but he refused to go any matches before this one, so he got surprised at how different it is from the card. I think Eddie didn't want any fights before this because he would have exposed how bad he was. Just imagine if he had a few fights. Eddie potentially going to get beaten off, I mean, a real nobody. I would have put... Christ. I'm not right. I'll take myself out of the equation because I know what I would say. A few more stone on me. A few more stone on me. I wouldn't be worried about going in there. I mean, if he hit me, he's not on me cold because he's a massive man. So let's use someone else. I'll be able to now go and find an amateur 2 miles away from me in Sunderland or in Newcastle and look and go, right, give me a young heavyweight, 15 stone, amateur, who's had 5-10 fights. I'd put him in with Eddie Hall, and I think I'd be able to find a young lad, 15-16 stone, who'd be able to beat Eddie Hall. A local guy who nobody knows. Local guy. That's how bad I think Eddie was. Eddie's still lifting weights and eating for two during training. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how Eddie trained for that. It's a joke. It's I know how to do it my way type of thing, but boxing, that's not how you do it in boxing. Ego in boxing will get you hurt, and it got him hurt tonight. What's his face? He's saying, I love how Eddie guarded. It's like, bro, you're fighting the southpaw. Gimli 1993. What's funny are the internet anonymous who say they aren't real fighters, sit in the chair, never train in their life, and think they can understand what it means to step in the ring. You're 100% right. 99% of the population wouldn't be able to take one punch off an average guy. Like, I mean, when I was a young lad working on the doors before I joined the Marines, I would see hard men, big and small, and to be honest with you, the people who shocked me the most was the smaller guys who looked nothing. The bigger guys who had the ego because they were big. I've seen a lot of them get embarrassed, actually. A lot of them get embarrassed. Fighting is got more to do with your spirit than your actual appearance. So if your spirit's in the right place, and you can tell if your spirit's in the right place, you can get beat. And being big and strong, I mean, Eddie Hall's big and strong. I'd have put him in there with an amateur from my local amateur boxing gym tonight, and he'd get his ass kicked, because boxing's boxing. You know, there's a reason why you often hear loads of people say, "Oh, boxing this, but I kicked his ass on the street." Yeah, because street fighting is a very different thing. It's a raw form of boxing with no rules, where, you know, when you're getting tired, you can grab onto them and bite someone's throat or bite their ear. That type of thing. That's why street boxing is a gentleman's sport, and you've got to understand the technique is everything. On a street fight, would Eddie Hall stand a chance? Very much so. I'd probably favour Eddie Hall in a street fight against Thor, because Thor's took on the fundamentals and the technique so well that I think he'd be more conformed to follow that and think it's going to work for him. Whereas it doesn't always work on the streets, okay? When someone is getting you in a chokehold and trying to bite your face off, because you are used to following rules and technique, you might be more reluctant to try and do anything about it. But yeah, simple as that, guys. I thought that was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Fair play to Eddie. He got in there and he went to 6 rounds, which is pretty good. But yeah, you know, if Eddie lost a bit of weight and I put a bit of weight on, I wouldn't be scared to fight him. He could dance away from Eddie and win the fight. Technique beats him every time, and I'm confident that Eddie will never grasp the technique of boxing. I'm confident. I think he's had his ego kicked out of him a bit, and I don't see him wanting to fight Thor again. I do believe he'll take the rematch if there is one, because of the money involved, but the same thing will happen. You don't just learn technique. If he's been boxing for 2 years at his own way, he's not going to change that now. You know, he's not going to change that. And his trainer really does need to have a look at himself. Eddie's trainer is to blame for this. Christian, Thor looked better when Eddie went southpaw, actually. Yeah. Eddie got wrecked by Hank. Yeah, he did. Okian native after round 2. I didn't think Eddie would make it to round 6. Yeah, you see, good point, actually. I didn't expect Eddie to get past the final bell when I seen him getting knocked down. Wyeth, you're saying I love Eddie, but it looked like he didn't even train. Yeah, it didn't. He's still too heavy. Still too heavy. 20-30 kilograms he needs to get off him. But there's another thing no one wants to talk about. For both fighters, the amount of drugs that they have to take to look the way they do is crazy. Don't be foolish in thinking that these guys aren't just using performance enhancers. They are a product of performance enhancers to get to the best of their division in strongman. They'll be hammering the steroids for this fight, and the amount of compounds that they will be taking together is crazy. Trust me. And to still look like that, it just proves that, you know, compounds is only one thing, and steroids is not going to get you through a boxing fight. You know, PS4 Eddie Hall, the last style bender. Hey troops, but that was it. Short one tonight. Short-ish. I didn't want to go too far, but yeah, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet to my other channel on YouTube, Just Boxing, then go subscribe to that one, because I'll be getting podcasts out on there very soon. But thanks for stopping by, troops. And yeah, that's all we want to do tonight. But thank you guys. I'll see you very, very soon on another video. Take it easy now.